Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another HK416 Tarkov video. So yesterday on Tarkov TV, which is a Battlestate game run Twitch channel, they did a podcast. It was purely in Russian and talked about some of the current issues and upcoming stuff that's in Tarkov. Unfortunately, I don't speak Russian, but who does is Warrant TV, and thanks to his help, I've been able to translate a lot of the bigger points that were in the actual podcast, so I can give that information to you guys. So before I even go into any of that, guys, please go down the link below, go give him a follow on Twitch. He's an absolute monster at Tarkov. He wrecks faces left, right, and center, and most of the time he's the highest level in Tarkov. So definitely go. I can't stress out enough. Thank you for your help, Warren, and guys, go down there and give him a follow and check him out. So moving into the podcast. So first up, we've got the HK416. It's the same as the M4 with the same ergonomics as the M4, but the gas tube and system is different. It's a hybrid of the AR system and some of the German systems. So better than the M4, the devs have said, but it's more reliable, lots of mods ready, but since it's a hybrid of the AR platform, a lot of the M4 mods are going to actually fit it, as well as it'll have its own unique mods, therefore making it more versatile with more configurations and different ways you can set it up. So it's going to be a bit of a gun where you can just mess about and make those weird, wacky setups. Something to note here is the HK416 is going to be around the same price as the M4 eventually, and the M4 price will drop because of this, seeing it's going to be a slightly better variant of an M4. Another thing to note with the HK416 is it's going to be a more USEC focused weapon once the future faction exclusive skills come in place. Now this is a good point to note right here that Nikita has come out and actually said that they're going to add different weapon systems that Nikita deems that he wants in the game. So just because they add a PPSH or some different firearm that won't be part of the meta, will probably actually be quite trash, Nikita doesn't care. He wants the game to have the feel that he wants in Tarkov, which is sticking to the vision of the devs and how they want it in the future. So when people say that this gun's a waste of time, why you're adding another AK variant or another M4 variant, they just don't care, because this is what the image the devs have for the game. And in the future, they won't change this. This is how they want to run the game, and this is how they want to see the game in the future. So that's just probably something to note, that for the people that actually do complain about the game, it's not going to change anything. If the game's going in a direction that's out of the spectrum of your thoughts, that's fine, because this is how the devs and Nikita vision the game. And this has had proof in the past where they've added heaps of random modifications for weapons, or say, for example, the Glock 17 came into the game with 1,000 mods for it and different variants of ways you can set it up. And that's how they see the game, and that's how they want to have it. Now in the future, they are going to still balance firearms, weapons, armors, etc., and that's going to happen over time. It's not going to happen as soon as a firearm's added to the game, but it will happen. And this has been spoken about in the podcast as well, with how different armors have different penetration values. Otherwise, for example, helmets would just never be used. Something interesting to see in the video here is actually the mass amount of stutters. I'm actually surprised that they put this in as a video for the HK416. I personally would have filmed it again, but it's just showing that they're still working on issues, or there still is issues with the frame rates. So moving on to the next part of the podcast, I asked Warren to translate. This is concept art of a building. It's regarded as a new map, which they're referring to as a military base. So this building is like a barracks stronghold. Now, they make reference here of how it takes a lot of time to build a map. There is a lot of detail that goes into each specific thing, and they don't want it to just be like a copy and paste thing for new maps. They want every container to look different, so it's not just like a simple basic map and everything looks the same. So nobody's details is as passionately as the ones in Escape from Tarkov, and therefore maps take a lot longer. They don't want containers all over the map with repetitive objects, making it seem like a lazy job was done on each map. The underground concept art is also referred to as a military-based map, and will be an underground place within the military communications, etc. They say that they want as many maps as possible with different themes, not only like a woods map or a city map, or they want a vast variety, and some maps that are just a mixture of in between. Now I actually noticed here down the bottom there's an image, and to me it looks like a Mark 19, which is an automatic grenade launcher. Warren didn't say any sort of reference to this in the podcast itself, but to me it looks like a Mark 19. Now, as we're about to see load up, is the new bunker complex that was just referenced. It looks like almost like a military silo bunker system where there'd be like a nuke, but at the same time, it doesn't look big enough to have a nuke. Now, moving on to another question that was asked during the podcast was, why don't you balance everything right away? And the answer from Nikita was, why the fuck do we want to do that? Because after every update, new shit's coming in and there's balancing that's going to be required. So they're better off doing it over time and not straight away, just to save a lot of just reworking the same thing over and over again. Realistic stuff also balances around gameplay. While we want to keep most of the stuff realistic, an Elton helmet, for example, if shot in real life with a heavy caliber, would explode your head. While in the game, there is a chance you have to survive. So there is a little game play and joy coming along with the side of balance versus realism. They actually made point during the podcast that if anyone speaks English, they're actually looking to hire people that are speaking English. Warren wasn't sure if they were only targeting Russians that speak English or just people that speak English in general. Now, with the P90, they literally said absolutely nothing about it. And Warren said that he watched each side of it for multiple minutes. Nothing was said for the P90 at all. So unfortunately, we just have to live with the concept art for now. Now, finally, the main theme that Warren noticed over the entire podcast was Battlestate Games is very firm in the way they want to have their game and how they're going to make it over time. No amount of complaining, no amount of bitching or moaning about armor and balance was going to change anything. They're going to get it right over time and they're going to do it properly and not rush it. So guys, I hope there was some good information in here for you guys to know about the HK416 and the P90 and the new maps to come. If you got any questions, unfortunately, I don't speak Russian, so I can't go through the whole podcast. I'm sure there's going to be someone out there that will translate the entire podcast, but I asked Warren to just take a little bit of his time, and I gave him some time clips of the specific points that I knew that were important to me and to you guys. So lastly, once again, guys, go give Warren a follow on his Twitch channel. Check him out. He's absolutely a weapon at this game. Lastly, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future content. I try really hard to get all that information out to you guys as soon as I can. I stream on Twitch 6 days a week as well. Go down to my link below, give me a follow over there. And finally, I'll see you next time.